Good morning, everybody. Robert here from the Red Dragon School of Martial Arts. Today we'll be discussing grasp the bird's tail, a metaphor for the ability to follow change. It's an elegant practice, the foundation of push hands training, and a wonderful way to develop the essence of the way that we practice and behave while working with Tai Chi. So before we begin, let's prepare ourselves a little bit. And when we do so, what I like to do is to try to frame the body a little bit, take a look at the way that we manage ourselves when we're in the postures of Tai Chi. And essentially the two qualities I always like to remind you of are remaining stable and remaining connected. So the first thing we want to do is put our footwork in place. So let's start by spreading our feet out a little bit. From here, what we're going to do is lower your weight down a little bit, have your feet nice and wide apart, and relax the frame into the base. Now, in summary, what we want to do is extend the body while remaining stable. So from here, head is up, chest is relaxed, shoulders, elbows, wrists, and fingers are gently extended. Moving down the body, we lower the waist, and that releases all that tension into the root, and you feel wonderfully stable, right? You feel kind of springy and bouncy, and that's what you want to do. You want to be able to make change while remaining stable. All right, so unlock your frame, let your waist down, feel your feet. From here, we're going to sink the chest, bring your shoulders, elbows, wrists forward, and make a big, rounded, connected movement. So from here, we're acting like we're wrapped around a great big tree or a great big pole, right? So we're stable, and through the lengthening process, we are connected. So let's breathe into our body and sort of calm our minds a little bit and prepare ourselves for the class. Breathe deeply down into your body, feel your feet, and just kind of observe your body carefully from within. I like to connect the breathing together into our motions. Press on your tummy, press on your feet. So you feel that nice springy release. You're not holding your body up in the air. You're letting your body go into a springy base. Now let's try this for a moment. For the sake of orienting the movement out of the dantian, let's do this. Take your right hand and turn it over. Flip your left hand over. Now from here, imagine you're pulling curtains aside. So you're going to use your tummy, push down on your feet, feel your feet very thoroughly, and turn to the left. Now when you get about 45 degrees, rotate your hand, push on your left foot. Push through a turning waist. Pull your arms. Make sure to keep the belt line settled. A little tuck underneath you helps to open the spine. And pull left and right using your tummy. You can easily feel your feet. And you push back and forth. I would say pull, right? So in summary, we're connected, we're stable, and we're using the center of our body to orient the motion. And that's a key feature. Throughout all of the actions in Tai Chi, we're working with a constant state of change that originates itself out of the center. So it's very important that we become aware of the center of our body. And I recommend to make that easier to do. In other words, in order to heighten your awareness and make it easier for you to concentrate on this, you need to spend time. So sit comfortably, enjoy that middle body, and over time, just your awareness will increase the energy and strength of that area. And when you're doing so, try to employ the actions throughout your day using the core, right? All right, now, grasp the bird's tail is a combination actually of 4 martial applications. And this is a martial art. So what we're imagining, in this case, somebody striking, let's say, in front of us using their left hand. So what basically it boils down to is that we're going to intercept by touching with our forearm using a warding action. And when we strive to apply force to their arm, once we have a hold of it, what we imagine them doing is making change. So by lowering their elbow down, they're able to take the stress off of it. Now, for us to maintain control, we're going to have to adapt. So by rolling outside of the arm, turning with the waist, we're going to go outside the arm and adjust, turning the wrist and elbow. So now we kind of have their arm rotated and we're controlling. But then again, assume that they're skilled as well. Imagine they roll their arm down again, preventing us from having a surface to apply force. And again, we're going to follow that change, coiling energy into the center, compress the energy, assuming they follow. We're going to roll back and push the energy. So let me show you what that looks like in form. And what I'd like you to imagine is somebody applying force to me in the form of a punch. So first, let's take a look at the front view, then we'll take a look at the side view. We begin the posture from the bow stance. So here we're going to take the left toe out, stride forward with the right. And what's so nice about this particular series of actions, this is really the essence of Tai Chi, the idea of moving out of the center, using softness to overcome hardness, and developing a very high level of sensitivity to change. And of course, that's done through a tactile experience. We feel our opponent, and by touching and connecting to our opponent, any forces that they apply to us, we can feel, and we can stay with, we can stick to and follow, and then as they make change, stay right with them. So that's really the essence of this skill. There's actually a folklore story that sort of depicts the skill. The great grandmaster Yang Chen, who created the Yang family style after having studied with the Chen family, was able to grasp the bird's tail. And what that meant was he could take a sparrow, have it in his palm, and we know that a bird needs to push off to take off, right? So as he felt that bird coiling energy into the feet, he could move with the bird and make changes, preventing that bird from flying off, allowing us to grasp the bird's tail, right? So in summary, being very sensitive to change, not resisting or bracing change, but to take the change inside, down into our dantian, into our root, and stay with a constantly changing opponent. Pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look at it the way we see it in form, and then we'll build the action from the bottom up. So from here, coiling the action into the left leg, pushing on the left foot, the waist starts to turn, driving the arm. Ward off right. Roll back. Coil into the center. Press. And push. All right, let's take a little bit closer look at the way the movement looks from the bottom. So when we think of the bottom of the action, in the previous movement, we were actually 90 degrees to the action, right? So the way that we manage the footwork in this case is we sit back slightly, the waist adjusts the rear foot momentarily 45 degrees. We push all the way to the tip of the left foot, bringing the left next to us. We go wide right, heel, ball, toe first. We need that little feedback, and then push the weight forward. So here we are again in a bow stance, 90 degrees. So that's the way we do it while in form. Let's take a look at that again. So from here, in ward off left, we sit back, turn. The waist leads the action. Completely shifting the weight allows for us to have a lot more control. Turning, adjusting, feel the feet, coiling into the root and kind of like bouncing the energy off of the floor. Feel it, draw back, push on the floor. And again, it's like bouncing the energy off the floor. You're fluid inside, right? So we can use that fluid to conduct force, especially out of the center. And the fact that the arms are held rather supple prevents our opponent from applying too much force to ourselves. So we tend to be able to listen, we say the word listen, and it's basically pay attention to through touch the opponent's changing forces without them intercepting or interfering with our own stability. So grasp the bird's tail, an amazing idea of transforming energy through listening skills and staying attached to the opponent. Let's take a look at it again. So from here, from the end of ward off left, sitting back, the waist turns, left toe in, move all the way over your left foot, right hand scoops to the left side, feet flatten, push the weight forward, turn to the right. Now you feel your right foot push, turn your waist left. Now coiling your knees, separate a little bit, Coiling down into the root, bounce it off that rear foot. Coil back and push. Okay, so that's sort of the structure from the waist down. Now, when we take a closer look at the hand technique, what we're imagining from the previous action in our left hand position, imagine again somebody's coming and we're going to shift the weight back. We're going to try to just pass that technique a little bit. And in doing so, my left foot's now in the corner. Imagine the punch coming here. What we're going to do is we're going to use the forearm to imagine intercepting and controlling the person's arm. So as my waist turns left, like a cable, my left arm rotates and stays in touch. All right, so we shift the weight to the left. Now, we're not done yet, of course. We've got to push all the way to the tip of the toe. Here, my waist continues to turn left. We're going to close the motion up. The right side is empty. We plant the foot in place. So from here, the waist turned to the left. Both hands help the motion. I'm going to lift up, push firmly on the ground. Energy point, middle of the forearm, left hand pressing down. So here we're imagining holding their arm, but they adjust, right? They rotate their arm. So here we have to stay in touch with that change. Push on the floor. Now, my right hand is a little forward. My left hand is a little back. So I'm applying opposite forces. Right shoulder going a little towards the right knee. Now from here, staying back, going to turn the center. Here we're adjusting, pushing down on their arm. The left hand is free to adjust. Here the body moves a little before the hand technique. So the body starts to go forward, charging the action, and then from here we release the action, a little like a springy ball. Then here we go back, coil down the spine into the rear foot, push off the floor, and slightly raise the hands. Wrist roughly shoulders width apart, hands standing up, hands just a little bit rounded, not perfectly flat, right? Just kind of natural lay of the hands. You're just conducting force all the way through the action, right? So that is grasp the bird's tail. Let's take a look at it from the opening, ward off left, ward off right, and grasp the bird's tail. So let's take a look at that. So from here, in a nice springy frame, a deep breath draws your attention down into your root. Make sure your tummy is level, your chest is relaxed, you're gently extended. Brighten your gaze. Coiling into the root, open. Tummy sinking down, everything lowering back down into your root. Sit slightly left, your waist turns and opens the frame. Circling the hand towards you, right hand reaches to the center, striding forward, keep it nice and wide, push on the floor, stand the frame up. Sitting back, left toe turns in, show the grab, right hand inside circle to the left hip, heel ball toe, ward off right. Keep the weight forward as you turn to the right, sit your weight back as you turn to the left, coil into your feet, compress, sit back, and push. Now, for the sake of training, I highly encourage you, set up a mirror. Break these movements down while facing the mirror, and it'll be a lot easier for you to witness what you're doing. All right, so it's highly recommended you consider that. So give yourself a lot of repetition in order for you to get familiar. Don't worry about analyzing it too much. Just connect your body into the root and do the movement as many times as you can. All right. So with that in mind, we like to hear from you. In summary, we like to make sure that you're on task and you're doing well. So we look forward to your questions, your comments, and please like and share. We've got some links that we have down low in the video, a little lower down in the description, and you'll find that there's a lot of resources there you can take advantage of. One of the things I highly recommend that you do is also to print out a list of the movements. Use them as a checklist for moving through this learning experience, and that will prompt questions and encourage you to do a little bit more in the way of studying. So set yourself up a mirror, put yourself some information on the wall, spend some time on these movements, and in summary, also just practice being still. So by looking inside and holding these postures and enjoying yourself, you'll find that you'll relax yourself a lot more and you'll be able to make yourself much more ready for the day. especially important to practice outside. I would like to encourage people, take advantage of this nice weather. Get yourself rooted and grounded on the grass. Touch the ground. Relieve some of that internal inflammation. So practicing outdoors, key feature to this method of learning as well. So we look forward to spending time with you on Wednesday. Wednesday we will be introducing a very challenging action called single whip, a most profound defensive application and probably one of the most recognizable actions in Tai Chi. So with that in mind, have a wonderful day. Make sure that you're staying well hydrated and you're calming yourself and exercising routinely. And we look forward to spending time with you on Wednesday. In the meantime, have a blessed day.